Hi there, I'm Alex from the Southern Ukulele Store and I'm back once again this week with Off the Peg. Off the Peg is the ukulele YouTube and social media video series where we take three ukuleles that may or may not have some kind of tenuous link between them, and then we compare them. So this week I've taken three instruments that customers have asked me about this week and really wanted to hear some sound samples of. But that doesn't mean that I can't share that with all of you. Try and kill a few birds with one stone rather than just the two. So the first ukulele I'm going to look at today is something pretty unique. This is a Romero Creations signature model Soprano. But this one is a little bit of a wonky raspberry, so we've listed it as B stock because when you look at it dead on, the proportions on the top bow are slightly different on one side to the other, so it's just slightly asymmetrical. But that doesn't mean it can't still be enjoyed. If you're watching this video looking at a new one on the website, then rest assured you can still use the sound sample of this particular one to get an idea of what to expect. But I just think it's a fantastic ukulele and deserves a lot of attention. Several people had asked us to get the signature model Soprano, but there was a tiny elitist part of me that thought, oh, no one wants Sopranos, but people clearly do like this, and there's nothing really Soprano about it other than when you feel the neck. So it's a 13.5-inch scale, so it feels like a Soprano, but the body is distinctly, I want to say, like a big concert. It's like a super Soprano. All of the usual things you expect from Romero Creations. This is all solid mahogany. The build quality is fantastic. Don't worry about the slightly offset shoulders. That kind of thing happens at instruments at all prices. It's just a shame to write one off for that only reason. You do get an abalone rosette around the sound hole, and it has that string through bridge that divides a lot of people's opinions, but creates a really true contact with the bridge for the strings. Bone nut and saddle with the Romero Creations headstock and those tiny tuners just to tie it all together. I think this is a really cool uke. I'm going to give it a play and see what you guys think. Okay, and the second ukulele we're going to look at today is another super cool piece of history. This is a Kanile'a Custom, but this instrument used to belong to Joe Souza, the head honcho at Kanile'a. This 8-string travelled to the UK in 2019 with Joe and the family to be used for festival performances and various meet and greet performances, and we took back at the time when the tour was happening, at the very end of the tour, we took this instrument on as well as a 5-string, a pair of 5 strings, and the original owner had it for a year, as collectors often do. They've traded it in towards something that caught their eye this time around, but it's a really cool uke with some really unique features that I just don't think you'll see on other Kanile'as or really many other 8-strings anywhere. First of all, the thing I love about it is it's a satin koa finish, so you should see, I'm shocked we don't see more satin finishes on high-end ukuleles. So this is koa, completely natural, but with a kind of satin lacquer on it. It's got a really cool rosette, which I'm pretty sure is mother of pearl, but it looks like Hawaiian sand up close. It sparkles, it glistens, it's just completely unique to this instrument, and it's the kind of cosmetic detail that when you're looking at it from a distance, you don't look at and go wow, and it doesn't dazzle you, it just looks right. But then as you get up close and your eyes begin to focus, it just looks really cool. You've got the pin bridge there, so it's a 4-pin bridge that takes dual strings for each one, another cool design. And then the most unique feature is it has stealth tuners, 4 a side, and the Cobra slotted headstock that Kanile'a do so well. So this is the lightest, most balanced 8-string I've ever held and played. And I've played and held a lot of them. I've tuned a lot of them as well. Am I right? Tuning 8 strings, man. But if you're going to have to tune any 8-string, it's nice to be able to tune one with tuners like this. Finally, this ukulele has I'm pretty sure it's an LR Bags pickup inside. It's got a 9-volt battery inside, so it's a really hot pickup. If you want a pickup with a lot of options, that's a really good choice too. But yeah, there's not much else I can say about it. It used to belong to Joe Souza. It's very reasonably priced. It's about half the price it would have cost if you spec this up from Kanile'a directly. It's a year old, the condition is fantastic, and it was owned by the man that started the company that made it. I mean, wow, it's so much to talk about and so much to love about it. I'm going to give this a custom 8-string a play and see what you think.
Super cool.
Okay, and on to the last ukulele of the day today. This is an Ukulele ACL, which I'm pretty sure stands for Ukulele Concert Long Neck. This is a long neck concert. It has a tenor 17-inch scale neck with a concert body. It's all solid Hawaiian koa. It's made in Hawaii, and it's well under £1,000 new. So what's the catch? Well, Gareth, who makes these instruments, if you're watching, forgive me, but I think it's important to manage people's expectations. These ukuleles have mojo, they sound good, they feel good, but the finish is not to the same standard as the other big production Hawaiian companies, Kamaka, Kawaloa, Kanile'a. But they do fill an important gap in the market. If you want something made in Hawaii, something made of koa, but you really can't budget something that's £1,000 up, £1,200 up, then Ukulele ukuleles fill that gap perfectly. I would say they are on a par with Pono and Big Island for quality. So if you want something that is a very prominent step up from your standard production run Chinese made Kalas, Ohanas, Flights, but you can't quite afford to go up to something that's high end, the Ukulele ukuleles are certainly the only Hawaiian made option that we're ever going to be able to show you nowadays. They have plenty to shout about as well. So it's a gloss finish, but it's a very old-fashioned gloss finish. So it's slightly waxy looking. It looks aged. It looks lived in. It reminds me most of how Kawaloa ukuleles used to look until they upgraded their glossing options about 5 years back. But these instruments are firmly somewhere between a Kamaka and a Kawaloa in terms of how they feel and play. I really recommend checking out our video on Ukulele ukuleles. I'll put the link to that in the description, and that will show you through the rest of the brand. But I didn't want to miss up the opportunity to show off this long neck concert, as it's the first of its kind we've had. I'm going to give the Ukulele ACL a play, and I hope you like it too. there you have it, folks. We've looked at 3 ukuleles today, all very, very different, all offering something completely different to other people out there too. But which was your favourite? Are you an 8-string person, or do you like sopranos? Maybe you're a concert long neck person. Either way, it's nice every now and again to feature something that isn't a standard concert or a tenor or a baritone. If you have any questions, please do get in touch with me at alex@ukulele.co.uk, or you can call me in store on 01202 430 820. Please take the time to check out our social media platforms at the links below. And hey, why not even give me a like too, as we're all friends now. In the meantime, folks, whatever you're up to today, have a good day, and I'll speak to you again soon.